Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm lifeguard Sarah, and you are here with me at San Clemente State Beach. Kind of waiting for a few people to come in, and again, I'm lifeguard Sarah, and I am a lifeguard for California State Parks at San Clemente State Beach. And for today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the great white shark. And today we'll need a paper and a pen or something to draw with. So I'll give you a few minutes or a few seconds to go grab those if you don't have them. Meanwhile, take a look. It's a beautiful day at San Clemente State Beach. All right, so I'm a lifeguard and I look after San Clemente State Beach. Let's take a look. Today's a beautiful day here at San Clemente State Beach. It's about 80 degrees and it's only 10 a.m. here in Southern California. San Clemente is located in Orange County. It's the most southern city in Orange County right before you get to San Diego County. And as a lifeguard, I scan the water and I'm looking for swimmers in distress, surfers in distress, any hazards that might occur in the ocean. And all the way to the south here, the furthest point you can see is Cotton's Point. It's a popular surf area. And today, the surf is about 3 to 4 foot here at San Clemente State Beach. And as you can see, Tower 1 here is open. We lifeguard down there. We have surfers out, and we have 5 towers at San Clemente State Beach that are fully staffed in the summer. And if you can see in the distance, we also have a truck patrolling on the beach here. The crowds are light, it's early still, but I imagine they'll get quite busy because it's supposed to be pretty hot. And the water is only 63 degrees. So if you were coming down the beach and you wanted to spend some time in the water, I would highly suggest wearing a wetsuit. As a lifeguard, I'm also looking for hazards, so rip currents. And if you look closely, we have a few right front. What some brown and today I'm sure you're all excited to learn about the great white shark.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
This is Brandon, one of the ports coordinators. We lost you for a second there. And
Okay.
do you mind just restating the last 2 sentences? We had some folks raising their hand and bringing it down.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you great.
All right. So today we're learning about the great white shark. I hope you can see that picture there of the great white shark. We have those big teeth there. So as we learn about the great white shark, I want you to keep an open mind because these creatures are very important to our ecosystem. And raise your hand if you know that what an ecosystem is. Very good. I see lots of hands getting raised. That's awesome. So let's get back and we'll talk about great white sharks. So where do great white sharks live? Great white sharks live in Southern California and all around the world. We actually have a huge population here in San Clemente, and the crazy part is we rarely see them. We do get sightings, and I watch the water all the time, countless hours. I'm in the water countless hours for my whole life, surfing, swimming, diving, body surfing, and I've only seen one great white shark. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Who here has seen a great white shark on TV? Raise your hand if you have seen a great white shark on TV. A lot of you, yeah. Now, keep your hand raised if you've ever seen a great white shark in real life. Wow, a lot of hands have been going down. Yeah, it's very rare, even if you spend a lot of time in the ocean. So we shouldn't be scared of these sharks. We should be excited that they're here because they do help the world. Now, when I saw a great white shark, it was actually right down the beach at our 5th tower there. I was body surfing, and I had just gotten out of the water, and I was appreciating the good waves that I had caught. And I looked out, and in the distance, I saw this 12-foot shark jump out of the water and then do a 180-degree turn and then splash. And what I saw was the dark backside, and then when it turned, I saw this bright white stomach. And it looked mechanical, it looked beautiful, but I was a little nervous to get out in the water. I never saw it again that day. And I did go out in the water, and it didn't bug me at all. It didn't scare me, it didn't come by. No one else saw it the rest of the day. So as we said, we have great white sharks, and we're going to talk about the habitat here. And if you look on the red areas, those are most of the habitats of great white sharks. So the great white sharks live in almost all coastal and offshore habitats with temperatures between 54 and 75 degrees. Remember I said San Clemente today, the water was 63 degrees. So that's right in the middle there. Not much is known about the migration habits of great white sharks, but with research and tagging, scientists are learning more every day. So sharks move around quite a bit, and with the tagging, they've been noticing that there's some migration up the California coast to Mexico. Sometimes they'll move over to the Hawaiian Islands. We have it on South America here, and Africa, and some of Europe and Australia. Who here lives in Southern California? Can I get some hands raised? Awesome. Quite a bit of local people. That's awesome you're tuning in today. Now, put your hands down, and who is not from California? Raise your hands if you're not from California. Well, I'm glad you're here and spending the day. And as you can see, if you're not in the coast, you don't have to worry about it. But if you visit the coast anywhere, there are sharks quite everywhere, which is pretty cool. And we are going to talk about now, it is shark season, as you look out. And what we see here are juvenile sharks. And we get a lot of people that think they see sharks, but sometimes they confuse them with dolphins. Now, we had that pen and paper. I would like everybody to draw a quick drawing of what you think a shark looks like. It can be a quick, stick figure shark, whatever, but I want you to take a moment and draw a picture of a shark. Are you drawing some big teeth? Are you drawing some colors? What color is that shark? How many fins does the shark have? Let's think about those things and maybe put them in our drawings. Does the shark's tail fin point up and down or side to side? Where are the shark's eyes? Does the shark have a nose or a nostril? Let's think about that. All right, well, hopefully your shark looked a little like this. And as you can see, we have, you can label it as we're talking as well. We have a darker side on the top. And this is what makes, the coloring is what makes the shark an apex predator. We have the dark top side and the bottom is white. Raise your hand if you know why the shark is colored that way. How's that coloring? Very good. A lot of people seem to know. You can go ahead and put your hands down. And the shark is dark on top so that when it's hunting, the prey above it can't see it very well. And the shark is light or white on the bottom so that if it's above its prey, the prey can't see it either because it blends in with the light of the sun. So let's take a look at the nose here. Right on the front, there is a nostril and it has a large mouth. And sharks have 5 gill slits, and this makes them a fish. They can breathe underwater. And they have 2 pectoral fins, a triangular dorsal fin on top, and a back dorsal fin, which is smaller, and a crescent-shaped caudal fin, which gives the shark its power when it's swimming. And a shark can swim up to 35 miles per hour. And the shark has 2 lower fins, a pelvic fin and an anal fin. I hope your drawing looked a little like that. And here I'm going to show you, this is a replica of juvenile shark jaws. Oh my gosh, a juvenile shark jaw is bigger than my whole face. Now let's take a look at how the teeth are aligned. You see, sharks can have up to 300 teeth at a time. If you can see here in the back of the jaw, the shark teeth grow from behind. So if the shark loses a tooth in the front, they will grow to the front. And the shark's teeth are serrated and pointy. And I have another, this is an actual real shark tooth. It's 3 inches long, bigger than my finger, and it's from a 21-foot great white shark. Could you imagine seeing that? It's bigger than my whole mouth. Can you believe that? They need it because they don't have hands like we do. They can't use a fork and knife to eat their food. Sharks need their teeth to cut up their food so they can eat it. That's pretty crazy, if you ask me. Now we've learned a little about the shark. Let's watch a video of a juvenile shark swimming. This shark was filmed in Dana Point, which is just north of us. And it's kind of just learning how to swim. Bear with me here. And here we go. As you can see, the shark is kind of learning how to go fast. Look at that. The camera can't even keep up with it. And that was maybe 200 to 100 yards outshore. Pretty crazy. It looked pretty, that was probably a 6 to 8 foot great white. So it's bigger than me, but still pretty small. Sharks, as I said, could get pretty large. That shark tooth was from a 21-foot great white, which is an older shark. And it tends to be that females end up being larger than males. Now, I get a lot of questions sometimes about sharks and dolphins, and sometimes people see dolphins and they think they're sharks. Let's watch a video to see the difference between sharks and dolphins. And while you're watching this video, I'd like you to jot down some differences you see between the sharks and dolphins. All right, that was pretty cool. Raise your hands if you saw some differences between the sharks and dolphins. Oh my goodness, so many people raising their hands. That's awesome. So what I saw was a difference between the shark tail. The shark tail moved side to side. Raise your hands if you noticed that, if you wrote that down. And the dolphin tail goes up and down. Raise your hand if you notice those differences. Awesome. Now you can put your hand down. Now, one thing I also noticed is the dolphins were in groups. Did you notice that? The dolphin was in a group, and the dolphins were in groups, and the sharks were solo. Did you notice that? Yeah, there's a group of dolphins and a solo shark. The dolphins seemed very playful, and they were jumping up and down. The shark was just swimming slowly. And another difference, did you notice when a dolphin jumped up, there was a poof of water? That's a blowhole. So dolphins are mammals and they need air to breathe. Sharks have the gills, so they're like fish, they can breathe underwater. And if you notice, the shark was on the surface, but it never came up for air like the dolphin did. Raise your hand if you noticed that. Cool. Look at all those hands raising. You guys are smart. That is so awesome. All right, you can put your hands down. Take a look at that beautiful ocean there. So as we talked about earlier today, sharks are important parts of the ecosystem, and sharks are apex predators. Who here knows what an apex predator is? Raise your hand. Yeah, an apex predator has no known predators, and they are at the top of the food chain. Now, it has been seen that great white sharks have been attacked by orcas or killer whales. So great white sharks do have a predator, but it's not often that they are attacked by an orca. And orcas attack sharks in teams. That's pretty cool. So the killer whale is the main predator in the ocean, but the great white sharks are up there as well. And let's take a look at this seafood chain here. So as you can see, oops. As you can see, the great white shark is on the top of the seafood chain. Sharks keep the ecosystem in check and balanced. If sharks were to disappear, which they were listed as an endangered species in 2013, and they actually made a major comeback in 2014. But if sharks were not around to eat other predators, it would make those populations grow. In turn, their prey would be at risk of being overconsumed to possible extinction, which would lead to an increase in algae, which would kill off the coral reefs and the kelp forests, With deaths of the kelp coral reefs, thousands of species would lose their home. And also, kelp forests produce 70 to 80% of the oxygen in the atmosphere. So a depleted kelp forest would be detrimental to the entire world. Wow, the entire world. So if we take a look at the seafood chain, we can see that there's larger sharks on there and large fish, and it kind of depletes down. If you can see, there's less sharks than there are the smaller animals. So that's how we keep our ecosystem in check. And let's talk about some of the sharks' favorite food. So sharks like to eat dolphins. They like to eat sea turtles and fish and stingrays. They also clean up the ocean, and they eat dead animals. So when an animal is already dead, they will eat that animal. They're kind of like a vulture in a way as well. So they clean up our ocean. And one of sharks' favorite meals is the sea lion. Does anyone know why sharks love to eat sea lions? Raise your hands. A lot. And sea lions are very fatty. They've got a lot of blubber on them, and they can sustain a shark for a while. So if a shark gets a good meal, it wouldn't have to eat for a couple days, maybe even weeks. Can you believe that? One sea lion can last for a couple days or weeks. So most likely sharks out here aren't very hungry. Let's take a look at the shark's favorite food. There's that cute little sea lion. I don't know why it's doing that. The cute little sea lion. Now, sea lions are quick. They are playful. And it takes a lot of energy for a shark to catch a sea lion. Raise your hand if you think the sea lion is cute. Yeah, I think it's cute. So, when sharks take a lot of energy, they're tired afterwards. So most of the time when the sharks attack, they will take a bite out of a shark or out of the sea lion, and it will wait for the sea lion to bleed out, because the shark doesn't want to use a lot of energy, because it takes a lot of energy to chase the sea lion. So once it gets the sea lion, the shark will swim away and wait for the sea lion to bleed out, and then the shark will come back and have its meal. So you're thinking, is it safe to swim out in the ocean? It's shark season here in San Clemente. Yes, it is safe to swim out in the ocean. Whenever you go out here, you are entering the shark's home, and that's something always to remember. So this is the shark's home, but it's also somewhere that we love to play. So some things to think about. In the world in 2020, there have been 21 attacks in the world on humans. In the entire world. There have been 5 attacks in the US, and only one of them have been fatal. So you're much more likely to get in a bike accident, to get in a car accident. It's relatively safe to be in the water if you are taking precautions and swimming in front of an open lifeguard tower. So signs to look for when you're visiting at the beach. So a lot of times we get sightings. We post pictures here, and I'm having some technical difficulties. Here is a sign that we post if we see an ocean or a shark. Raise your hand if you've seen one of these at the beach. So quite a few of you have seen the shark sign. So what our policy is if someone sees a shark and it's a credible sighting, we will post a sign that says there's been a shark seen here, a mile up and down the beach. And this is actually down at Trestles, one of the beaches that I patrol. And sharks are seen there a lot, but we've only had one attack, and it was a couple years ago. So another sign that you could look for at the beach is signs of wildlife. So when you're looking out in the water, let's take a look. I see a lot of surfers. I actually don't see a lot of wildlife. That's a good sign. So what I might be looking for is maybe a flock of seagulls out there. And that would look a lot like this. So most likely, these seagulls are feeding on something called a bait ball. Who has seen seagulls like this or birds flocking on the ocean like this? Quite a few people. It's not uncommon. So let's take a look here. What it looks like underwater. I'm having some technical difficulties here. I'm sorry. Bear with me. Let's try this again. Oh, look at that. So underneath the water, this is a bait ball. So where all those seagulls were, there was a bait ball. And what do we see there? We see some sharks. So that's something to look out for when you're down at the beach. You can, if you see a lot of seagulls like that, you can choose, oh, it's quite far out there in the water. I still feel safe going in, or maybe I should wait. But yeah, most likely the sharks, if they're there, are happy and eating right there and hunting. So those are some things to look for when you're at the beach. Another thing you can do is when you come down to the beach, find an open lifeguard tower right here or a truck driving on the beach and ask some questions. You come to the beach, it's okay to go up to the lifeguard and say, hey, what are some things I should look out for today? Are there any dangers? Have you seen any sharks? Who has gone up to a lifeguard and asked them questions when they're out down at the beach? Raise your hands. Awesome. Our lifeguards want to give out information. So when you're down here, be sure to ask them questions, but realize if they're not looking at you, it's because they're watching the water. And that's their job, is to make sure everyone is safe on the beach. Now, we have a special guest today. Is everyone excited to meet our special guest? Our special guest comes from the ocean. It's going to take a few seconds for them to come on up here, but take a look. I got to make sure he's on his way, but he has a special song for you. Hey everyone, I'm Fluffy the Shark. I frequent San Clemente State Beach over there. I especially like Bluffs, Trails area. Has anyone here been to Trails? Raise your hands. Or San Clemente State Beach? A lot of you. That's one of my favorite surf beaches as well. And we are gonna sing a little song today. See if I can get my ukulele in here. And today we're gonna sing a song about sharks. It's after the Monster Mash. And if you know the words, sing along. If you don't, just learn as you go. swimming in the ocean late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. A person swimming gave a scream and shout. The splashing seemed inviting, so I checked it out. I'm a shark, not a man-eating machine. I'm a shark. I'm really not all that mean. I like to swim, and I'm rarely seen. I'm a shark, not a man-eating machine. I swim through the ocean, I'm hard to see. From below I blend in with my white belly. From above I blend in with the deep blue sea. I'm an apex predator, I keep the ocean healthy. Long story short, can we just get along? That's why I'm singing this silly little song. I'm not a scary monster, can't you see? I'm just as scared of you as you are of me. I'm a shark, not a man-eating machine. I'm a shark. I'm really not all that mean. I like to swim, and I'm rarely seen. I'm a shark, not a man-eating machine. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Come on, everybody. Can't we just be friends? I'm a shark, not a man-eating machine. I'm a shark. I'm really not all that mean. I like to swim, and I'm rarely seen. I'm a shark, not a man-eating machine. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the presentation today. Again, I'm Sarah, hiding in this shark costume with California State Parks at San Clemente State Beach. And today we learned about great white sharks. I am happy to answer any questions, so reach out to the Ports program if you have any questions. And I really hope that you come down to the beach. So remember, when you come down the beach, always wear your sunscreen, wear a hat, wear some glasses, which I'm not wearing right now, and make sure that you know the conditions before you go. You can go to surfline.com and it will tell you the tides for the day, the conditions for the beach. Raise your hands if you've been to surfline.com. Awesome. So surfline.com tells you, again, the surf, what it'll be like, whatever beach you're going to, the water temperature, the tides for the day. And it's important to go check that before you go to the beach. And then also make sure to always swim or surf within your abilities and swim in front of an open lifeguard tower. Again, we're here at San Clemente State Beach. It's a beautiful day here. And I hope that you all can come here and visit me soon. Make sure to say hi if you come down. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.